Thanks to her roles in Bring It On, All or Nothing, and Heroes, Hayden Panettiere became typecast as an all-American cheerleader, but she endured her fair share of trauma behind closed doors. Despite her struggles, she's racked up a whole lot of personal achievements. When Hayden Panettiere was just 5 years old, she was cast as a main character on One Life to Live. Although Panettiere's role did not have her playing her own evil twin, she managed to exude cuteness, and the doors to Hollywood swung widely open in the years that followed. Panettiere acted on One Life to Live from 1994 to 1997, before leaving the show to star on another soap opera, Guiding Light. In 2017, on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Panettiere recalled her time on Guiding Light and the adult-like, crazy storylines involving her character, Lizzie Spaulding.
They threw me down a well. I got leukemia not once, but twice.
Now,
I was kidnapped. I shot my mom's boyfriend.
All that sounds like quite the heavy subject matter for an actor not yet in middle school, but Panettiere can laugh about it now. She went on to say that landing such a meaty part at a young age gave her confidence. At 12 years old, Hayden Panettiere joined the Fox TV dramedy Ally McBeal, a show widely considered to be a groundbreaking pop culture darling. The series gave birth to one of the first memes of the internet, the creepy dancing baby, and inspired water cooler conversations across America. Ally McBeal showcases the life of a deeply neurotic but lovable Boston attorney and a diverse cast of her co-workers and friends. Starring Callista Flockhart in the title role, the show ran from 1997 to 2002 and started winning awards as early as its debut season. For the final season of Ally McBeal, Panettiere played Maddie Harrington, Ally's 10-year-old daughter. Maddie was conceived from eggs Ally donated to a fertility clinic and shows up on her biological mom's doorstep. Panettiere portrayed the character with a layered emotional gamut that feels authentic for a 10-year-old embarking on a new familial journey. Although Ally McBeal did not return for a sixth season, Panettiere's short stint on the show cemented her as a star on the rise. Hayden Panettiere's first silver screen role came in the form of a small part in 1998's The Object of My Affection, starring Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. However, it was her performance in the animated film A Bug's Life, released later that year, that truly allowed Panettiere to shine. The second Pixar film from John Lasseter, whom also helmed the ship of Toy Story, A Bug's Life had high expectations to meet. The film also had the misfortune of making its cinematic debut 6 weeks after the eerily similar Ants. On the bright side, A Bug's Life performed extremely well in home video sales. The 9-year-old Panettiere starred alongside comedy A-listers like Dennis Leary, Dave Foley, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Panettiere voiced the character Dot, an ant princess and the youngest daughter of Louis-Dreyfus's Ada, queen of the ant colony. Dot hero worships Foley's character Flick and longs to grow up due to her general annoyance with her small stature. Panettiere brought an endearing sweetness to Dot, who learns to accept and embrace herself, quirks, smallness, and all. Hayden Panettiere didn't have to wait long after A Bug's Life before landing another part in a successful film. In 2000, she was cast as Cheryl Yost in the stellar football film Remember the Titans, starring Denzel Washington. Based on the true story of Herman Boone, the first black head coach at Alexandria City High School in Alexandria, Virginia, Remember the Titans deals with the deep issues plaguing the post-Jim Crow rural South of the 1970s. The inspirational tale follows a high school football team, but digs far beneath the surface of normal teen genre tropes. Panettiere played the daughter of the team's former head coach, Bill Yost, who befriends Herman after being demoted to assistant coach.
He ran a tough camp from what I can see.
Well, I'm very happy to have the approval of a 5-year-old.
Although she was only 10 when she played Cheryl Yost, Panettiere had the chance to share the screen with teenage up-and-comers like Kate Bosworth and Ryan Gosling. Bosworth told People magazine that she felt like a big sister to Panettiere while on set. As for Panettiere's thoughts on the film, in 2020 she told the Washington Post, "They used to show Remember the Titans in my history class when they were teaching about racism. It always made me cringe to be put on the spot like that, but if I had to choose any of the movies I've been in to watch, it would be Remember the Titans." 6 years after Remember the Titans, Hayden Panettiere starred in the football-adjacent movie Bring It On, All or Nothing, the third cheerleader comedy in the series started by 2000's Bring It On. In the third offering, Panettiere played the lead part of Brittany Allen, a teenage girl with it all. In this instance, it all means she's a head cheerleader with a hunky star quarterback boyfriend. But everything changes when her dad loses his job. Brittany has to move from her cushy, all-white neighborhood to the less white and cushy Crenshaw Heights, Heights, where she must find a way to fit in and reluctantly tries out for the cheer squad. The film isn't of award-winning caliber and received discouraging reviews, but Bring It On, All or Nothing proved that the 16-year-old Panettiere could carry a movie. The actor added layers to Brittany, a role that certainly could have come across as one-dimensional. During her stint in the Bring It On franchise, Panettiere played a believable cheerleader audiences can root for, and pretty much laid a foundation for her first career-defining role.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
In 2006, Hayden Panettiere returned to the small screen to play a different cheerleader, Claire Bennett, on the NBC hit Heroes. The Tim Kring-created superhero drama turned out to be her breakthrough performance. The show centers around ordinary people who suddenly discover they possess extraordinary abilities, and, according to a mysterious prophecy, the world's fate hinges on Claire Bennett. The role allowed Panettiere to show off her acting chops, but it also thrust her into the limelight of Hollywood life. Panettiere had to navigate through the public scrutiny that comes hand in hand with television success. After a highly praised first season, the popularity of Heroes waned as the storylines veered off the tracks. Unfortunately, the second season of the show was shot during the 2007 to 2008 WGA strike, and the difference in quality was immediately apparent. Kring even issued a public apology for the show's changes. Nonetheless, Panettiere continued to shine in her role. The actor expressed a passion for Heroes long after many fans had given up. As season 4 of Heroes was airing in 2009, she told Cinema Blend, "It's just exciting, and it's smart, and I don't think it belittles the audience." Ultimately, Heroes failed to recapture the magic of its first season and was canceled in 2010 after its fourth season. After the cancellation of Heroes, Hayden Panettiere quickly moved back to the silver screen, following in the footsteps of past teenage television stars like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Neve Campbell. Panettiere took on the Scream Queen mantle. She starred as Kirby Reed in the fourth installment of the Scream franchise. Panettiere's character is best friends with Sidney Prescott's cousin, giving her an indirect connection to the story of the first movie that pans out to be more significant as the plot of Scream 4 unspools. Released in 2011, Scream 4 stands as the lowest-grossing film in the franchise, earning just over $38 million at the box office. However, Kirby's survival skills made Panettiere an instant fan favorite. It's a testament to Panettiere's portrayal that she managed to win over fans with a sense of loyalty to the original film. Although Kirby's fate is left unclear at the end of Scream 4, Panettiere did reprise her role in 2023's Scream 6. While Scream 4 is technically considered a commercial failure and a creative mixed bag, it obviously has its advocates. In 2009, Panettiere played another cheerleader, the title character in director Chris Columbus's teenage comedy, I Love You, Beth Cooper, a story with more than hints of John Hughes's teen films of the 1980s. Panettiere discussed the film with Cinema.com and was generous in her praise of Columbus, who's best known for directing the 1990 mega hit Home Alone. She said, "Chris Columbus is incredible. He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever had the pleasure of working with. He's so talented and he has no ego. I hope this is not our last film together." However, the critics were quick to pan the film. Time Out called the performances hammy, and Slant Magazine even gave I Love You, Beth Cooper a half-star rating. Audiences weren't much kinder, leaving scathing reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. The film flopped at the box office, earning just under $16.5 million globally. After the Beth Cooper debacle and the cancellation of Heroes, Panettiere hung up her pom-poms and moved on to other roles. In 2014, Hayden Panettiere gave birth to a daughter, Kaya Evdokia Klitschko, the only child from her relationship with Ukrainian national and heavyweight champion, boxer Vladimir Klitschko. Panettiere and Klitschko ended their 9-year relationship in 2018, and their daughter now lives with her father, where they reside in Ukraine until the February 2022 Russian invasion. The actor still maintains a good relationship with her daughter and shares co-parenting responsibility with Klitschko, but all parties decided it was best for the 7-year-old to spend some time with her father. After giving birth, Panettiere struggled with severe postpartum depression and decided to take her experience public. In 2015, People magazine reported that Panettiere had checked herself into a postpartum treatment facility, as she still dealt with symptoms 10 months after giving birth. In the midst of her struggle with postpartum depression, Panettiere's alcohol and drug usage increased, eventually causing her to enter a treatment facility in 2021. By sharing her own experience, Panettiere wanted to destigmatize the condition for others. She opened up about her postpartum depression on Good Morning America.
You know, women are so resilient, and that's the incredible thing about them. and I think I'm all the stronger for it.
If Hayden Panettiere's role as Claire Bennett on Heroes launched her into a new level of fame, her turn as Juliet Barnes in the country music epic Nashville kept her there. Panettiere's first fully grown-up role kept her belting out tunes and playing out sudsy, dramatic storylines from 2012 to 2018. The show spent its first 4 seasons on ABC before it was canceled and ended its run with 5th and 6th seasons on CMT. Nashville centers on the country pop singer Juliet and her rise to the top while often showcasing the bitter rivalry between the up-and-coming star and fading legendary singer Raina James, played by Connie Britton. After a high-spoiler event at the end of Season 5, Nashville lost its clear sense of tension and met its second cancellation not long after. Nevertheless, Panettiere proved her talent went beyond acting by singing her character's tracks on the series. In 2012, Panettiere's single Telescope, which is a Juliet Barnes track on Nashville, landed on the Billboard Country Music Chart. After Nashville wrapped up in 2018, Panettiere took a break from acting. She didn't take a job in Hollywood from 2018 to 2022. As Kirby Reed in Scream 4, Hayden Panettiere faced down Ghostface and was left to die when she was stabbed by the killer Charlie, after freeing him from some misleading restraints. A dozen years later, the character of Kirby Reed is back for 2023's Scream 6, thanks to a contingency she requested, that Kirby's fate be left unstated when filming Scream 4. Kirby was always a wisecracking character who had a love of scary movies, so she fits in well with the legacy characters of the franchise, and in Scream 6, she holds her own against the barbs of none other than Gale Weathers, played by Courtney Cox herself. Kirby barely survived her first encounter with Ghostface, telling Tara she actually died for 4 minutes, but now she's in the FBI and says she takes a particular interest in Ghostface cases. As with every Scream film, there are misdirections and red herrings galore, never making it easy to discern who the actual killer or killers are. It's one of the franchise's core strengths, as the films have taken the horror genre as a whole and turned it inside out, going meta on top of meta and reinventing its own tropes. Of course, this means that Kirby's actions are as under suspicion as anyone else's, and absolutely nothing is off limits. If you or someone you know needs help with mental health, please contact the Crisis Text Line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline at 1-800-951-NAMI 6264, or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.